We are looking at Ava's butterfly over the water stroke. This is with Coach Chris. And as we take a look, we're going to let her swim through. Now Ava's doing a lot of good things. Her timing on her breath is really, really good. Getting a little high on the turn. Nice glide, that's good. Nice streamline, good breakout. She's getting the head up early. So above the water, there's not a whole lot to nitpick. So we're going to just focus on a few minor things. That's perfect right here. If you watch Ava's stroke, she's doing a real good job of getting the head up early on her breath. Okay, we're going to watch this recovery though, because she's turning the palm down, not always, but every once in a while she'll turn the palm down a little early. So she's exiting, pushing straight through the back. That is a great position. Pinkies are up. You can see that clearly right here in this frame. Her pinkies are up, thumb down, elbow up, sweeping. As she gets here though, watch, she's already turned the palm down as she gets to the front end of the stroke. Now, if you get through this phase, if you watch one of the high-end butterfliers, like one of the world-class butterfliers, what you're going to see is they're still going to have those pinkies up and that elbow up to the sky through this phase. And the reason they do that is because it keeps the weight of the arm on the core muscles of the back, the central muscles of the back. When she drops her palm down here and rotates those arms to reach forward a little early, what's happening is the weight of the arm is shifting. It's shifting onto her neck. It's shifting onto the top of her shoulders, particularly as she reaches forward, the front side of the shoulders. And if you talk to athletes who have chronic shoulder problems from butterfly, that's why. It's always in the front end of the shoulder. It's never the back of the shoulder. It's always that front quarter side of the shoulder. It's because they're doing this sort of motion. And I'm not saying she's going to develop shoulder problems, but I am trying to point out that that's the common cause of the fatigue in the technique. Now, this will be fine for a short distance butterfly, for taking 8 to 10 strokes, but as she gets in a long course, and as she gets into longer races, the 100 fly, the 200 fly, this stroke is going to break down, and it'll break down as she fatigues. So here she's doing great. She should be keeping that pinky up through this phase of the stroke. Now here, when she gets to just outside her shoulders, when she gets into that Y position, this is where she should start rotating the palms down. And you don't even want to rotate the palms entirely down. You want to rotate them maybe almost flat with the pinky still angled upwards towards the corner of the building. So a little bit of a pinky still in the air at this end. But she's doing a good job. Exiting out wide. Really good kick. Look at how high those hips come. That comes from a really good, strong kick. And that's something she has worked so hard at. And one of the things I'm really proud of her stroke, she's worked really hard on developing a solid kick. And it shows right there. And this is perfect right here. Look how early she gets that head out on the breath. Her hands are underneath her. She gets her head up in that first half. She's breathing right where she wants to breathe. Driving straight back. I mean, that's right here. This is a really picturesque stroke right here. The palms have rotated inward. She's got the pinky up. She's initiating that sweep by swinging her pinky up. She just has to maintain it. I mean, it's just one of those, one more piece to this stroke, and it will be a very solid stroke. Getting the eyes down. Now she could get that head down a little lower. Right now she's looking down as she reaches. She needs to drive that kick a little earlier to lift those hips. And what that'll do is that'll push that head and chest down earlier. Right now she's just a little late. This kick right here is a little late, but it's a really nice kick. Look how strong she's pushing those legs down. That's great. And again, over the water great, just turning the palms down early. Now here we go on a turn. We're going to talk the turn real quick. Okay, she hits great. Eyes down at the surface, exactly what we talk about. But she's going to pull herself or allow herself to go too close to the wall. So we watch this. Now see, her arms have collapsed. See how her elbows are bent? Her chest is almost right up against the wall. She's got no other way to go but up. And that's kind of why she rises up out of the water and gets so high, because she's already pulled herself in too tight to the wall. The fix for this is when she lands and she's in that body surf position and she lands right here. She needs to lock the arms and keep them locked. Her elbows shouldn't bend. She needs to keep her upper body away from the wall and keep that space, that window open so she can bring her legs up into it. That'll keep her low in the water. Now she's trying to stay low in the water, and she's doing it by, I don't want to say cheating the technique, but she's listened enough that she's learned how to stay low in the water despite the fact she's lifting herself out of the water in the wrong position. So she needs to keep that window open. And here she does, getting that arm over. She has a tendency to sweep it in front of her face, especially when she gets tired. Here I think you see it. You can see it right here. You can see her head. Here's her head. The arm will come right on the inside of her face. She needs to go right behind the ear. Push off. Great glide. Nice dolphin kicks. She's one of my older athletes as far as having been in the group a season already, and she's doing everything we ask underwater, doing a great job. Good breakout. For her age, that's a really well-timed breakout, and that's something I look for. And again, getting the head up early, getting the hands together underneath. This first stroke is really, really solid. Getting that breath. Look at those. Thumbs down, pinkies up. There's that sweep. Perfect. But the palms are rotating down at the shoulders. Again, keep those pinkies up. Try and make sure you're reaching out over the water in front of the body with those pinkies still up. Going to the next stroke. Pretty much the same. Little late on that kick. See those hips come up? That kick's just a little bit late. If she can just kick a little earlier, it'll get that hip up sooner and get her head down lower. But still, very, very technically, she's working on a lot of the stuff we discuss. And just a minor tweak here and there, and it'll give her butterfly a lot more stamina because she's going to be using different muscle groups to hold those arms out of the water.